Hello out there. Sorry, I am a few minutes late because my computer camera just went haywire. So I'm on my phone, but that's okay. If you are there and you're tuning in live, type live. Otherwise, if you're watching the replay, type replay. And I know who's watched it, who's getting what. Someone is there. I can see one person. So yeah, you just type in who it is and then I'll be able to see who you are. Otherwise, replay. Hi, Amy. Oh, so nice to have you. Thanks for joining live. So yeah, I'm going to start to get onto a schedule of these, doing these lives, 15 minutes, just as a little midday reset if you're in Europe, or if we have people that are joining from the US, East Coast, it would be 7 a.m. Again, if you are watching the replay, hit replay. So I am going to try to create a little bit of structure around these. And last week we talked about meditation. We did a little bit of a meditation. And this week I figured good to talk body, since our pillars are mind, body, planet, and posture. Because for many of us, especially if you're working at a desk, whether you're in an office, whether you're working at home, or you're just doing whatever type of, you're sitting at a computer, whatever type of work it is. It could be personal work, it could be a professional work. But so often our posture becomes really, really, really slumped, and that then becomes our posture as we're even just standing. And I had a really interesting interview with Matt Morley. I think we did our original interview actually last year around this time. And he talked about a standing desk. I have now invested in a standing desk, and I'm at my standing desk. But we also need to be conscious of, when we're sitting down to have the right posture. So, and this actually ties into my yoga practice a bit, because when I teach yoga, I teach true alignment, your true north alignment. And it's how your feet are placed, it's on how your hips are stacked, how your shoulders are stacked. And we can take this into a chair, or we can think about this when we're standing as well. And so I really want you to think about 3 steps when you're thinking about your posture. And the first is really finding your feet. So you're building up from the base, you're building up from your foundations, and your feet, whether you're standing like I am, or if you're seated in a chair, really think about and get conscious about your 2 feet being planted on the ground and how they're rooted down. So right now, my feet are roughly hip width apart. And I can really feel my feet. I actually, when I'm standing, I have a mat underneath me because it gives me a little bit extra padding. But my feet, I try to stand really comfortably on both feet. Now, since Amy's watching live, I'm going to talk to you because I know you have a young child. You're obviously you're probably at some point carrying your child, and you need to be conscious of how you're even, I see a little thumbs up, cool. How you're carrying, I don't know how old your child is, but how you're carrying your child, and that will create some slump, and you're probably putting a little bit more pressure on one leg than the other, moving the hips. Get grounded in your feet. By the way, anyone that carries a bag, that's also very relevant because that creates a little bit of imbalance. Okay, so you found your feet. You're feeling them on the ground. If you're seated, same thing. So often we cross our legs, or maybe I do this. I sit on one leg, sort of one foot sort of tucked underneath me. Not the best habit. Both feet planted on the ground. Find and feel your feet. It wakes up your whole body. So really start to get present. Feel all 4 corners of your feet. So that's big toe mound, little toe mound, and the side of each heel. Your toes, they just float in a way. You don't want to be gripping with your feet. If you take my yoga class ever, you'll hear me talk about that a lot. Okay, the feet are like your antenna, and then it sort of activates the rest of your body. And it is sort of a sensory doorway to your pelvis. So now let's move up. Then you're going to find and feel your center line. So your feet are planted firmly, you're finding and feeling your center line, and that's your spine. And that physical center creates the container for not just your body, also your mind. And we need to really be conscious of your mind, and integrating the whole body will then help you. It helps you from the periphery, basically, into the center, and you can drop your attention into your seat bones. I hope that made sense. So basically, you're now integrating your whole body. So you've got your feet planted, your spine is sort of drawing upwards, and you have this periphery from the center outwards of your whole body. And if you're seated, you can feel your seat bones. So that's basically your bum, the bones there off the back of your pelvis, and they're rooted down. If you're standing like I am, it's just an awareness of a slight tuck of the tailbone. Okay, so now you're noticing your spine continuing drawing upwards from the base upwards, the spine stacked. It will be stacked in the same way if you're seated or if you're standing. And your muscles are sort of drawing in towards the bones a little bit. And there's this general organization of the physical parts towards your center line. So hopefully you can start to feel that. Hopefully that makes sense. If it's getting confusing, you just let me know. Okay, so we've got our feet. Our feet are planted firmly on the ground. You've got your pelvis, seat bones that are giving you, if you're seated, giving you that support, that rooted down feeling in your chair. If you're standing, your hips are stacked over your feet. And then you're drawing up through the spine, and that's keeping you tall and present, and allows your shoulders to spread wide while you're also relaxing them down the back. Again, so often if you're at a desk, you sort of scrunched up. So it's like, ooh, can you roll your shoulders up and back and then draw the shoulder blades down the spine? And that's where you create that sort of coming together of the muscles towards the spine. From there, you drop in. It's like drop into presence, drop into yourself. So your body is present, but you also want to be mentally stopping and dropping into the center. And that's the third part of your true alignment. Because you've basically now, from the feet to the pelvis to the spine to the shoulders, all the way up to the crown of the head with that center line, you're now aligned. But your mind is so important here, and the mind is what keeps you present. And when we get off balance in our body, we're off balance in our mind. And again, I do teach this a lot when we're practicing yoga, because the practice of yoga is a mind-body practice. There's that connection. But this is also so relevant in everyday life. And your mind, all of our minds, my mind does it all the time. It's so busy, and it gets carried away doing things in the future, checking off the list, where those are the things I need to do. Or you're ruminating about the past. And what we try to do is try to train our brain to be present to this moment. And a lot of the time we can do that with the physicality of the body. And if our body is alert and present, then you can drop into your mind. You can drop into yourself and use that your mind to really just stop and be here right now in your body, noticing your breath. So then you start to feel the body breathing and becoming aware of the ebb and flow of the breath. And there you go. It's like physically present in your body with that true north alignment. Again, whether you're seated or standing, but you're also present in your mind. And it's something that it's a practice. It's a practice. Can we come back to the feeling of the body in order to ground us here? Maybe you want to close your eyes and test it out, and just test out how that feels, and test out how you do it. You can drop into your true north alignment, whether you're seated or whether you're standing, even when you're carrying your little baby. or carrying a bag for anyone that's carrying a bag. And you want it, it's a little bit dynamic, but it's also effortless. So you want to be comfortable. And then if you are staring at a computer, and this is super important, if they are important, very helpful. My bone click gently when I breathe, the work to be done here. Yeah. I mean, it's constant. It's an evolution, and it's all about bringing an awareness to whatever's happening in the moment. And this is not something to say, tick, I've done it, I've accomplished that. This is like, it's an everyday awareness. And no matter if you continue for the rest of your life, still, years down, practicing a bit of mindfulness and awareness, there's still more to be done, because we never get to the goal. There is no goal. It's just a journey. If you are sitting at a computer and you do find yourself a lot of the time staring at screens, practice the 20-20-20 rule. So every 20 minutes, try to look up. Ideally, you're looking out a window. You have something else to look at afar, and it rests your eyes. You're looking up every 20 minutes, out a window. I'm looking out a window right now, by the way. And you try to look at a distance about 20 meters away for 20 seconds, and that helps rest the eyes. So we've done a little bit of work on your body, your physical posture, whether you're seated, whether you're standing, a little bit on mindfulness to tap into bringing an awareness. That awareness to your body also helps you bring an awareness to this moment. And then just resting your eyes. All of us being on screens, whether they're laptops, computers, big screens, or even just our phones, so often our eyes don't get the rest they need. So 20-20-20 rule. And there you have it. I hope that was a little bit helpful to give you a little bit of insight onto True North alignment. Thank you for joining live, Amy. It was nice to have you. Everyone else, if you've watched this, remember to hit replay. I will be coming live to you all for a quick 15-minute dose every week, Wednesday, 12 noon. And yeah, we'll go through mind, body, planet. So next week we'll do something on planet. Haven't planned it yet, so I can't tell you. But it will be around planet. Have a great day. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message at any time. Bye, Amy. Everyone else, be here and be well.